Monday's your last day to float the Boise River this season.
Joel Hroma gives a year in review and some tips going into the long Labor Day weekend.
The final four, the last 4 days to float the Boise River. Boise officials are expecting a pretty good turnout going into Labor Day weekend, and they're also sharing tips on where to park, how to float, as well as safety tips while you're on the river, and reflecting on the season as a whole. An estimated 150,000 people between residents and visitors have made their way down the river this year.
It's been a really straightforward, pretty successful, pretty consistent season.
Despite having fewer days breaking 100 degrees this year than previous years.
That still hasn't slowed down the demand for floating the Boise River. It's just such a special activity. You don't need over 100 degrees to float the Boise River.
Prime conditions are expected for the holiday weekend, from temperature to flow rate, making the float enjoyable for anyone.
We're looking to close out the season on a high note, emphasizing safety as always.
Officials want floaters to have fun, but be safe in the process.
This is, as we try and remind people, this is a natural waterway. It's a wild river. It's not the lazy river at Roaring Springs.
And with that comes hazards people need to be aware of, and how to make their journey run as smooth as possible.
Wearing a life jacket is probably the single most important thing you can do to keep yourself safe. Do not tie tubes and rafts together. That makes it very difficult to navigate.
Beyond that, they recommend not drinking and floating, wear protective water shoes, and practice heat safety. Despite the potential hazards, calls for service are down 30% from last year.
I want to commend the public, the floaters, for actually taking safety seriously, because that's a 30% decrease is pretty dramatic.
Something to keep in mind going into the weekend, and Morrison Park will be closed for parking on Friday, so be sure to park somewhere else and shuttle up to Barber Park to enjoy your float. Officials also advised to show up earlier in the day to find parking and avoid lines.
And just encourage you to do it this weekend because it is the last official weekend for the float season.
It's one of the things that makes Boise, Boise.
It's outdoor activities that people really enjoy in the city of Boise. That's why people live here. That's why people work here. That's why people visit here.
The last day for rentals is September 1st, so if you haven't floated yet, now is your chance. You don't want to miss out on this Boise staple. In Boise, I'm Joel Hroma reporting.